Agape Flowers to discuss how flower businesses in Botswana can leverage current market trends to overcome challenges related to supply chain limitations and enhance that competitive edge. Sekei, welcome to BTV News in Context.
Thank you, and thank you for having me this afternoon.
Emma. Absolutely. Now that you are in the flower industry, let's talk about the key market trends that we are experiencing as Botswana, and you yourself being there. What exactly are you seeing? How would you assess or analyze the market trend of flowering, the flower industry in Botswana?
Okay, thank you, my dear. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Reabetswe Sekei. I'm a florist. I have a business of running florist. We are based in Gaborone. The service that we provide is florist. We also do gifting. The gifting includes individual gifts and corporate gift. We also into events and decor. That's actually what we do in our business. So in terms of market trends, what is currently happening is that we have these trends that our clients are currently preferring. That is, we do bouquets. Our clients are more into, there's a high demand for bouquet. A bouquet is simply a bunch of flowers which is wrapped. And we are also looking at a high number of demand in terms of the box arrangements. We have box arrangements. That is currently what is trending in the market in terms of florists. Yes.
Would we say demand is high and supply manages to meet that demand? Would we say we are growing as an industry? You know, the demand so far is gearing us towards the growth of the economy. Is that what we're experiencing so far?
Yes, in a nutshell, I would say that our demand is quite high in terms of this service that we provide. But we have a challenge in terms of supply. As you all know, we as Botswana, we are not, we cannot grow flowers. As such, we get flowers. And let me just say this. In this industry, we have three components. We have our growers. We are looking at the Netherlands. We have our wholesalers. Wholesalers, I would say, in our neighboring country, South Africa. We also have the retailers. So when you look at the supply and demand, in terms of supply, we have a challenge because we are getting this stuff from outside our country. We have the challenge of unavailability of stock sometimes. We have also the importation costs that is also affecting our supply. But in terms of demand and trying to push this business to try to diversify our economy, it is doing well. And with time, I believe we'll thrive. Yes, ma'am.
Right. I actually want us to get into that, the challenges that we're experiencing, especially in our import costs. What more is the challenge actually? I mean, you mentioned something there that Botswana, we're not growing flowers locally. What really is the stem of that? Why are we not growing flowers in Botswana? For the fact that we are dependent so much in imports, do we even have a little that we are producing locally? What is the case there?
Unfortunately, there isn't that we are producing locally because you look at our climate. Our climate is not suitable for these fresh cut flowers. Remember, these are fresh cut flowers, so they need to be in a certain environment for them to strive and grow to the level that we want them to be. So in terms of our importation, in terms of importation and the challenges that we are having there is that you find most of these fresh flowers that we are getting from outside, there'll be some delays and they'll be affected in some way. Hence that why we have that challenge.
Right.
Yes.
And also that poses a threat to us here in Botswana now having to bring a better output now that we're speaking of fresh flowers. And now if you are importing them, and probably some of them were imported already, you know, you are expecting fresh flowers when they arrive here in Botswana, but they've been through so much. So it means to some extent we are being compromised there in terms of the freshness of our product which we need to give to our customers. But let's also speak about the skills gap, right? How are we addressing this challenge here in Botswana? Now, you spoke about the climate here in Botswana, but in terms of improving our service quality, what measures do we have in place more so that we are bringing in flowers that are already, that have gone through so much and on the way that, like we have already said, it means that the freshness has been compromised. So how are we making sure that our efficiency in terms of operation is actually to the maximum?
Okay, let's look at the skilled labor gap. In terms of that, yes, we as Botswana, first of all, as someone who wants to get into florist, you need to have that passion, you need to have that drive, you need to have that good communication etiquette. So in terms of skill gap, I would say we are trying to train those that are within our range, our employees and all of that. But I feel if given the platform, maybe in terms of finances, we can open a school where we can train the youth who can come in and open their own businesses. I would say if we are given that opportunity to do that, florist business can flourish and can strive, and will have a lot of youth and other age groups that will thrive in that business. So I would, in that regard, I would really like to urge or ask for an intervention so that we may also have something where we can train people that can open those businesses and run them and have their own income. That is what I would actually love to see.
Right.
Yes.
And now that Vision 2036, we keep on emphasizing sustainability, right?
Yes.
And also we want to kind of like deviate a bit from relying on imports and us Reabetswe Reabetswe. So to what extent would you deem it possible for us Botswana to start producing flowers locally? I mean, yes, you highlighted the climate situation of us in Botswana, but the white people, they say where there's a will, there's a way, right?
That's true.
And we have seen this in the agricultural sector.
Yes. Yes.
So to what extent would you say, but it's possible as Botswana, let's venture into this, into production actually. To what extent would you emphasize that?
In that regard, I would say it is possible for us to produce. We can do some thorough studies and see where it's possible. We can have something like a greenhouse where we can produce our fresh cut flowers within Botswana. Like you said, everything is possible. We just need to do that thorough research and see how is it possible that we can have a greenhouse where we'll produce those fresh cut flowers. In that regard, it will also create some employment for us, and we'll have our stock readily available. We'll reduce those costs of importation, and that and in that way, I believe our business will flourish in that regard.
Would you say there's anything stopping us from doing that?
I don't believe that, and I would advocate that we have something like that.
Right.
Yes.
Of course.
It is possible.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Now let's talk about the opportunities that exist so far in terms of innovation now in the floral sector. What opportunities are you seeing here and there? Of course, so far now we are mentioning the production part of it, but now when we speak of innovation, we can also speak of technology. What opportunities are you seeing there that Agape can also venture into to take your sales higher, to take your your exposure out to the people?
Like I said already, we are into florist and we are into event. So as the florist business, to try and uplift our income or our sales, we can go into decor and events. That's a very lucrative business that goes well with florist. So as you know, as florists, yes, we might want to get into that, but we also have that challenge of capital to start. When you look at events, you need a lot of equipment, you need you need logistics and all of that. So if we can get a bit of help in that regards, maybe have some financing to try to divest our businesses, to try and grow our businesses, I believe in the next 2 to 5 years we will be thriving in that regard.
Right.
Yes.
I like the fact that it's you who's saying that. It means that you are fine with competition. You are having healthy competition in the sector. So would you say the sector is not saturated so far, or will not be saturated enough if we have more people coming into the florist business?
It's all about, my dear, when you have a brand, it's all about how you put your business up there. Yes, so I believe there is competition, but you need to stand out as you need to stand out as a business owner and move.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Well, let's just go for a quick break and we'll be right back. Right, thank you for staying with us on BTV News in Context. Now we continue with our conversation as we near the end with Sekei, talking the floral business here in Botswana. Sekei, we're still talking about how saturated the market might become, or how healthy it is to have more competition coming in. So let's speak about the future also, the future of Agape Florist and Events. What does it look like, and how does the future of the florist industry in general in Botswana look like?
Okay, thank you for that question. In terms of our future, we want to really divest our business. Like we said, we want to go fully into events as well. So if we go into events and do more of the corporate events, I think in a way it will help to sustain our business. So in terms of the future of florist, I would say, as a plea, is just to say, help us to expand our businesses. As the government, help us as florists to try to centralize this importation within Botswana. Let's have our own greenhouse. If it's possible, let's have it in Botswana so that we can grow our own flowers. In a way, we'll be creating employment as well. We can also be financed as the florist industry. We as the florists, we are currently the retailers, but we can have a warehouse or a wholesaler where we are, as the retailers, we are turned into wholesalers, where we would have these neighboring countries coming to buy in Botswana. And in a way, it will help to uplift our economy, and and also to try to elevate our businesses and our income.
Right.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Sekei, for making time to be with us this afternoon. We absolutely wish you well, and we wish this country of Botswana more, growth in the horticultural sector and the floral sector. Thank you so much for making time.
You're most welcome, my dear, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That was Ms. Sekei from Agape Florist and Flowers. Of course, we're talking about the florist industry here in Botswana. Motho e tshwantse change ga se ama di hela re change ndikakanyo maikuto le boitshwaro a re kopane gape morago nyana.